We have Jackie Bitutu from EcoBank, where she heads women banking. So let me start with Jackie from EcoBank. You have 2 decades plus worth experience in women banking. What are some of the behavioral differences that you see, and how does that impact their credit worthiness?
Thank you. I spent a lot of time with women. I've actually had one-on-one conversations with more than 1,000 women, face-to-face. And this is what they say, and you can tell me if you agree or you don't. The first most important thing for a woman is God, her spirituality. That is the first thing, and whether we were speaking to women in Meru, speaking to women in Kisumu, in Johannesburg, Australia, or Wisconsin, the story is the same. The second most important thing for women is their health. A woman who's in bed means the family is also sick. So they worry a lot about their health and how they must be up and about to do what they need to do to keep running the family. And remember, in Africa, more than 80% of the farms are worked by women for free, not paid. The third thing that women worry about are their families, and that starts from their children, it extends to their spouses, extends to the homes where they sleep. Women are so serious about this issue to the point that they say, you know, if my husband won't build, I'll build and put him inside the house. We must have a house. And then the next thing that they worry about is the education of their children and their own education. Then they worry about their service to community. You'll see them in Jumia and Dogondogo, you'll see them in Chamas, you'll see them at the church, and then they worry about their legacy. What's going to happen to me when I'm not here? Thank you.
A while ago, I had a conversation with the former governor of the central bank, and he mentioned something which was very interesting to me. The bulk of mobile money transactions in this economy happen between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. The bulk of them are done by women. Speak to us about this habit and what tech does when it comes to women, in particular in finance. Let's keep quiet, please. Thank you.
Thank you for asking that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
That was my way of saying I like being listened to. So it's very true what the central bank found out. A big percentage of women transact before banks open. Let's say, for example, a woman who's trading at Kikomba. They always say that the phone is the first husband or the second one. It's usually in bed.
I hope it's the second one.
Second one, eh? So they will do all the transactions before they sleep. First, they do the first few transactions before midnight because of the limit, and then they do the next transactions just after midnight before they start taking their children to school. By the time you find a woman going to pick her goods, whether it's from Garissa Lodge, wherever it is, they already paid long time ago. But what can banks and other financial institutions do to capture this market? Remember that the relationship women have with banks is as follows. You don't care about me when I'm struggling. You watch me as I progress. Then you come and give me a loan. And then when I default, you take my stuff. So that lack of trust kind of relationship can be dealt using technology. So what financial institutions are doing now is looking at the woman holistically. Because if we go into looking at the woman and how she transacts in the bank, we'll only get less than 30% of her transactions. A woman will receive money today if she's selling handbags, send some to the mother before putting it in the bank account. Send some to the house girl before putting it in the bank account. They will mix their business and personal. When they come to an institution to look for a loan, what do we ask for?
Collateral.
A bank statement and collateral, which they don't have. But they have data which is at different points. So fintechs, telcos, and banks will play a great role in capturing this market and trying to lend to women in the way that they understand. Thank you.
So when we put our poster out around this panel, one of the questions I received was, I hope you will speak to the needs of the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, right? Around girls in that space. So let me start with Jackie. When you look at that crop of ladies, how fundamentally different are they from the ones you were interacting with 20 years ago? And what are you tailor-making for them? Very briefly.
Thank you for asking that. I have two daughters. One is 20 and the other one is much younger. And when I look at them, in terms of inclusion, they are living it. We did the journey. We are still looking for the fruits. They are living the fruits and they're asking for what is beyond today. They're not thinking that it was like this 10 years ago. They're saying, here we are today. So let me give you a very complicated example. I did get my boys to start going out earlier than my girls. And they are just 1 year age difference. When my daughter said she was going out, I asked the boys to take her out. She's never forgiven me.
She's never forgiven you?
She said that they are of the same age group, but I felt that because my boys are men, they needed to watch over her. But when they went out, the boys were easy, but still watching my daughter on the corner. So the significant difference is that they have been brought up in this space where they are liberated and they're enjoying the fruits and they're asking for more. We have come from a space of suffering to get it, so we're a bit more lenient. But when you bring them to the workspace, they understand mental health. They will sit in a meeting and they will tell you, I sense some negativity and I'm thinking maybe I should take a 5 minutes break. That is unheard of in the days that my dad was a colonial teacher. But they do say that. And if you call them at 10 in the night and give them an assignment, they are going to do it until 5 o'clock and they're going to come to the office at midday and tell you, I was working through the night, I now feel better, do you have more work for me? If you're going to fire them for that, you're the one who's going to lose. So it's a different space. We have to be specially enabled to deal with this new generation. In terms of money, people say that the new generation talks about YOLO, they talk about all these things. They're financially savvy. And parents who know it are taking their children for financial fitness academies at the same age that she talked about. And banks are doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Let's come to Jackie, a minute for your closing thoughts.
For me, I have two things. Number one, there's this perception that women are the worst enemies of each other, something like that.
Yeah.
But we had a lesson today on our webinar for International Women's Day at Workplace, and we were told that women have changed, and I believe they've changed. They will adjust for you the crown if it's crooked, and they will not tell the world that it was crooked. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.